Rock.
What's great, y'all? I'm Henry Rock Johnson, and you are now tuned in to Roc Radio. I got my brother and my co-host Thrizz with me. Don't forget the 1-3. And today, our topic is mood and music. You notice
Okay.
how sometimes you listen to a certain song and it'll turn you up. Sometimes you listen to a certain song and it'll turn you down, make you relax. Sometimes you listen to a song, it'll make you sad. Sometimes you'll listen to a song and it'll make you mad. So today we're just going to sum up some of the reasons why that is so. So, Brother Thrizz, what is your take on music, and tell the viewers what role that you actually have in shaping and shifting sound?
Well, with me as an artist, I am exploring letting the consumers understand what it is that they're actually taking, what their brain is actually receiving and hearing. Music has always been like an outlet for people, and music runs the world. Rhythm
Facts.
runs the world.
Facts.
You don't have a good, like, when you have music, you have a better time. That's what makes people dance. Think about it. When you have the energy in the crowd, there are certain songs that tend to get everybody in the room moving, and that's one of the things about the power of music. And so if the song has a certain energy where it's uplifting and it's upbeat, then everybody in the room is moving with a certain groove, and everybody's upbeat, and it feels great. You feel like you're having a great time. That's why people go to the club. They go to the club to hear upbeat music and dance and forget about whatever they had to do all week at work. They just go to take a break and let their hair down. That's what the club provides. You don't really have a sad club experience. Have you ever heard of a sad club experience?
A sad club experience, no.
Exactly. And that's like the power of the music.
Now, I've heard people dance over a beat that make me feel good
Right.
about bending, but nothing like it's not like you going to like an open mic or something like that, and you hear various different amounts of moves and stuff like that. So no, every club I went to, casino, whatever, it's always been upbeat, uplifting. Even if you go to your local retailer like Walmart or something, or Kroger, when it's the holiday season, they're playing this uplifting holiday music. They want you to spend holiday money and show love to your family. So one of the quotes I've always seen was that music transcends the thought process and jumps straight into your soul. So you don't even think. The right frequency, the right chord progression, whatever, can just pass your thinking process. Like, you're not sitting there thinking about, how do I feel about this? No, you just feel it. Like, music is to be felt, not listened to.
Music is to be felt, not listened to. And yeah, that kind of goes into it. You talked about the stores. Even in the stores, you're not really hearing sad songs, because ultimately they want to influence you to purchase. So they want you in a good mood. They want you feeling good about yourself. They want the music to be upbeat, to have you in a rhythm, like you're kind of in the club. Because in the club, what do people do? They go and buy drinks. Like, the music is good, and then they're buying drinks. And when the drink is in your system, now you're feeling even better.
Oh, you turned up.
Right. So really, really think about just how we started the episode. We just laid out a couple of places that people frequent. Even if you're not a club goer, you're going to go to the grocery store at some point.
You're definitely going to walk.
You're going to go to some store to get your computer fixed. You're going to go to some store to buy clothes. Like, you can't get away from it. Even in movies.
Definitely.
And this is what I would say. That is where the movies is where the mood is heavily, heavily influenced by soundtrack. So for me as an artist and a person who has a specific type of ear and who is aware of these type of moods and how your mood can be affected, it's a little difficult for me to watch movies sometimes because as we make music for sync and whatnot, I understand what's coming before it comes. Because most people are looking at, the average person is looking at what's happening on the screen. I'm looking at what's happening on the screen, but I can hear what's going on. The music that you hear while the scenes are going on is what ultimately preps your brain, right? It preps your brain and your body to feel the sorrow of the moment, because it's more than just the angle and the inflections in a voice. Someone can be crying, but when you hear them crying, listen to the music in the background and see how it's setting your mood.
Or go to a funeral. Go to a funeral, and you'll you'll feel the sad mood in the music. Everything is slowed down. Everything is kind of centered around remembering the person that passed away. So like everything will match that.
Right.
So let's talk about how certain genres affect productivity.
Okay.
Let's talk about like how lo-fi. A lot of people now listen to lo-fi to help concentrate on work because it's just chill. It's not too upbeat and fast. Like if you were working out, you would listen to something fast. You know what I'm saying? Something like for me, one of the things I like to listen to when I work out, I like to listen to wrestlers theme songs.
Okay.
I ain't even gonna lie, because it gets me pumped up. It gets me pumped up though. You know what I'm saying? But if I want to chill, I would listen to like some lo-fi. I'm gonna listen to something along those lines where I can just sit and focus. Or I might listen to your album Frequency.
All right. Okay. Shout out Frequency. Before we get to that though, what's your top 3 wrestling songs? I would have known this. I didn't know
this. Ooh, that's a good one to work out to. Triple H, The Game theme song by Motorhead.
Okay.
And both his theme songs. The one before that, My Time.
Okay.
Shawn Michaels theme song.
Ooh. Okay.
Stone Cold theme song. And I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, I can say it. That's Stone Cold different. I thought you was gonna hit me with what is the John Cena.
John Cena's up there too.
I thought
John Cena.
That now John Cena made a whole album. I ain't never heard it.
Went platinum.
And I ain't never heard it.
Know that? I think it went double platinum, but it definitely went platinum.
I mean, you know, he has the fan base, so it would make sense that it would go platinum.
But another genre of mood music that I kind of like if I want to focus or if I want to go to sleep is the classical.
Okay. Yeah, and I've heard that. And see, when we get into classical, it's been said that classical music for babies, it helps with brain development. It actually enhances brain development with the certain keys that are touched in classical music. I've also heard that it's great for studying. I'm not sure what specific keys that are in classical music that supplements the brain development. However, I know that you don't really hear minor chords. If I'm not mistaken, you don't hear minor chords that much in classical music. And that could be a part of it, because minor chords tend to have a bit of sadness to them.
Melancholy.
Yeah. Minor chords, you're gonna more so vent over minor chords, whereas major chords are happy.
You're celebrating.
Yeah. And shout out to our mentor Kevin Shine.
Shout out to Kevin Shine.
Yes, sir. And so he says either you're celebrating or you're venting. And so that's a great way to approach every song. Like for our songwriters that are tuning in for us and our artists, it's a great way to approach every song. But also as a consumer, that's the way you want to approach a song. So pay attention to the music, especially like if you're feeling like you're not in the best space. Pay attention to the music that you're actually consuming.
Facts.
Because you could be just perpetuating this sadness within you because of who you're listening to.
It's a song for every mood. Like, literally, it's a song for every mood that you have. And me being a Pisces, like, I definitely can feel that on all aspects. So that's why I tend to lean towards certain stuff if I'm feeling some type of way. If I want to enhance it, cool. I'm going to go over here. If I want to get crunk, I'm gonna turn on some Lil Jon. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna turn on some Waka Flocka.
Okay.
You know, in my generation, you know, my era.
Mm-hmm.
But if I want to chill out, I might listen to some Kenny G.
Mm-hmm.
I might listen to like some Earth, Wind and Fire songs, because some of their songs is turned up too now. But a lot of their songs, I like how they kind of was able to paint a picture with how they created music. Even with Michael Jackson, he's another great artist at that. Tupac was another great artist at, okay, I'm gonna have some turned up songs, but I'm gonna have some songs to make you think.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to those artists who mastered that art and made a range of music for us to listen to. Cause some people just stuck in one lane. You know what I'm saying? Some people just stuck making one type of music. And that's fine if I'm in that mood. But the longevity of me listening to you will rely on the range of music that you make.
So I ask you a question as you go that. Like, just question. As an artist, do you feel like it's important to stay in that box or lane if everybody's receptive, or is it more important for the artist to express themselves as they see fit?
I think a true artist expresses themselves in the way as they see fit. Now, if they have a formula to get the attention they want for their art, cool. But if you notice, even those type of artists, if they're true artists, over time started experimenting with other stuff. Like, look at Snoop Dogg, look at Lil Wayne. Mm-hmm. Like, Snoop Dogg started as a G-Funk gangster rapper, right? Mm-hmm. But he's made songs like Sensual Seduction. Mm-hmm. He's made like a reggae album. Right, yeah. Like, even Kanye is another artist we can throw in there. Mm-hmm. Because he made like College Dropout. Like, you got this old hip hop head, but then you got 808s and Heartbreak. Then you got his gospel albums. Mm-hmm. So a true artist really does explore the spectrum.
Interesting enough, I agree. It's like sometimes I feel that the fans don't allow the artist to be able to be fluid and change for real.
Because they want what got them there in the first
place. You have to look at the people you named. Like, you have to be really bold. Like, you have to be really bold and really, really, really good at what you do in that one lane to even explore. Because, like, Wayne went into rock and reggae. Wayne went into different lanes, just like Snoop Dogg went into different lanes, like you said, Kanye. But they're, like, for instance, Rod Wave. Rod Wave has this, like, he has this persona of, like, when people are sad, they want to listen to his music. It helps them. Like, the way he talks about pain and everything and being betrayed and all of these things, people like that. But, like, how long are you really going to be able to keep that up? And then we go, as we're talking about the mood and how it affects you as music, you got to pay attention if you're consistently taking that in and talking about how sad you are.
Because you're attracting that.
You are attracting that, and you are perpetuating that in your life unconsciously, just because it's going into your ears
on a consistent basis.
That's what you have to be careful, because as those words are going in, that's going into your brain, and your brain is saying those words because you know the words to the song.
The spirit is in the music.
So you have to be mindful. You can enjoy the music, but be mindful. So if you're sad, play a sad song, but then play something uplifting to get you going and kind of push out whatever sadness or negativity you have going on with the song that's upbeat and going. Because as we have described to you before, you really don't go to the club to hear a sad song. It doesn't make sense. Like, you're not gonna go unless you're going to a R&B party, and even then, when you're going to an R&B party,
you're gonna get a range.
You're gonna get love songs and like groove. You're not really gonna get into the sad "woe is me" type songs.
You ain't gonna get all breakup songs.
Exactly. So there's a breakup song. If it's a breakup song, it's gonna be a celebration like shortly after. Yeah. Or if it is a breakup song, it's a celebrating breakup song. It ain't no, oh, I'm down bad. It's not gonna. You're not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, you know, you're not really gonna get. I know, like offhand, Keisha Cole first album, she was talking about a lot of cheating and heartbreak and stuff like that. And even though that was cool, because that's the space he was in. Sometimes artists are in a certain space when they come out with a body of work, and that's all you're gonna get. But again, the real ones are going to be able to evolve outside of that as they evolve. And like you said, you brought up a good point. Like, we just want to hear what got you here. We don't want to hear all that experimental stuff. So it really does take a true fan to, okay, maybe he was at this point when he first started, but now he's evolved over time. So we got to get our artists room to evolve. And we have to enjoy, we have to be able to enjoy them in that space they're in.
Yeah, because it seems like people come out really, really hungry in their first body work. They're very, very hungry. And then there's this space of where, okay, they've seen or tasted a bit of success or have some success. And so they have to adjust to that. And it's a lot that comes with the adjusting. There's a lot of attention, and sometimes you may not even really be sure as to what caused it. And so you're trying to adjust to that. You want to give people what they came for. So,
but again, speaking things into existence does exist. Mm-hmm. So if you were speaking on something you went in that you were in and trying to get out of, now that you're out of this space, you don't want to speak, because some artists keep speaking that and end back up in the same space that they were in when they first started instead of evolving.
I got something for you. We talk about how music affects people. So you had King Von. What happened with King Von? What happened with NBA YoungBoy? Like Juice WRLD, Pop Smoke. These like people, they're making certain music, and sometimes they're bringing up killing, or sometimes they're bringing up killing themselves and wanting to die.
Tupac did it. Biggie did it.
Biggie said he was ready to die.
His whole album entitled "Ready to Die."
His whole album says "Ready to Die." Now, what I will say is, just kind of going off script, you know, there's this thing, and I think it's even biblical. It's just talking about living as if you were dead. And I think that's fully expressing yourself and you know, like not holding back, like truly living as if you're dead, because you can live and worry about dying so much that you play it safe.
Yeah.
Like you play it safe. You essentially play it safe and hold yourself back sometimes. But yeah, you have to be careful of those songs that are saying that they want to die and whatnot, because you see these artists literally go into suicide. They have suicidal episodes and they're depressed and they're taking a lot of drugs and they're trying everything to cope. So while that music may sound good and you may be able to relate a little bit, you have to be careful of that type of stuff, because people kill themselves.
So let's transition into the section about, you know, how music is medicine and the rise of like binaural beats and your binaural beats album, Frequency. Let's talk about how certain frequencies can enhance the brain now.
Right. So I would say years ago, of course, binaural beats has been out for a while, but years
More than a
ago,
while.
yeah, it's been out. It's been out for a good little minute, but I just had this random thought where I'm like, well, oh, so there's brain waves and there's things that you can influence your brain waves or change your brainwave patterns. That was very, very interesting to me. And as I dove deep, I realized that we have these different states that our brain is in. You have alpha. Well, excuse me. It starts with delta. So it starts with delta, then it goes into alpha, then it goes into theta, beta, and then gamma. And so the delta waves are more of those where your brain is in that more of that sleep state. And then the alpha waves are more when you're kind of like waking up, when you first wake up, and now everything is kind of coming to you and you're getting ready. Then there's that shift into theta, where essentially you're concentrating on certain things and you're able to problem solve. But then it goes higher into beta. So there's that theta and beta state that you're in that sweet spot when it comes to creativity and knocking things out. But then that gamma is more of the highest ideal, the highest form of creation, kind of like an overarching where you're seeing things from a top down level and seeing things from a super broad perspective. And so I created Frequency one to just put that out and expose people. And this came around the time that Andre 3000 dropped that Sound album.
Right. New Blue Moon.
Right. And I was open to that. A lot of people didn't like the fact that he did it, but they didn't even understand the healing aspects that take place within your body when you hear these particular frequencies.
So let's go a little bit deeper in between that, because in between 428 hertz and 440 hertz is supposed to be this like sweet spot where it can help you heal. Get a little bit deeper with that.
Right. So I've seen different things. So you have they've talked about 428 hertz and 432. I've heard 440 isn't that good, and that's where they kind of took the music to from a frequency level, or when they went digital. It went up to the 440, and so the music wasn't as healing as it was. So 428 and that 432 is like that pure frequency of love. It's supposed to be that frequency of love, and love conquers all. And so when you come from that base, it calms the body, and you're able to focus. The frequency of love, like I said, it conquers all. So it puts you in whatever state that you want to be in, because love is like bliss. And so you just have to take the time to calm yourself down and just truly take in the frequency. Let everything come out of release out of your brain. All of the negative things that you're thinking about, you just
let them pass.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the art of meditation. And I know me, when I first started getting into meditation, that was one of the things that helped me stay focused. Because it's easy to get lost in your thoughts, but I explain it to everybody this way. It's like your thoughts are like a streaming river, and you're just sitting on the bank just watching your thoughts. Now you get into that river sometimes, but you shouldn't let yourself get swept away in your thoughts, because that kind of defeats the whole purpose. So listening to frequencies, that kind of helped me stay focused. While I'm hearing this song, I'm just imagining myself on this bank of a river, just letting my thoughts pass.
And so there is I think there's this guy Huberman. I can't remember his first name right now, but this is something that Roc and I, in our process, we included in our process years ago. So before we even start a session, there are times where we would just get straight into creating. And then there's these times where we're just like, all right, let's meditate first. And let's play the theta waves. We've done theta waves, we've done beta, we've done gamma waves. Now, we have not documented what was the result. However, every time that we have meditated prior and set up the frequencies and meditated to them and then hopped into the song, I think we've always been able to get about 2 or 3 songs just created simply off of making sure your brain is in a certain state that you need it to be in. And so people use that as a hack. Like they may go and listen to it for about 10 minutes and then go into a deep work session. So that's ways that you can use these frequencies to your advantage and change your mood and how you feel to get what you need to get done.
And this is how music therapy and music is starting to get more popular in like healing processes in doctors' offices and hospitals because of studies like this.
Case in point, when you go to, and once again, so we're talking about these places that you frequent and the type of music that you hear. When you go to the massage parlor, what type of music do you hear? You might hear the water, like the river flowing. You're gonna hear the ding, ding, ding. You're gonna hear
Sebastian bells.
You'll hear the bells. You might hear some music with birds chirping. It's very, very calm and relaxing
and serene.
These things are done on purpose. This type of music is created on purpose to create an entirely different environment for you. You're always in an environment, but then once you start hearing things, that music essentially controls the environment and how you respond unconsciously. So, we're just talking about this to more so bring awareness to what you consume. We're not saying that you don't, like, it's okay to listen to the bad music or the
entertainment aspect.
Yeah. It's okay to be entertained, but also keep in mind that you are being influenced and you have the choice to influence yourself. Just as if you make a playlist, you have the choice to influence you and yourself. And keep in mind, the repetition of what you hear can also influence your decisions, aka why drill music has a lot of our African American people killing each other. So keep in mind, there's a responsibility that comes with that too.
Definitely. And as we wrapped up, music is just a tool, just like anything else.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can use it to calm you down, or you can use it to turn you up. Because these algorithms out here have playlists for all your moods. You go on Spotify, you go on Apple Music, it's a playlist for every mood already put together.
Yeah.
But I would definitely want to know what some of your guys' playlists include for your moods. Just leave it in the comment below. Leave a song. Leave a soundtrack that influenced you.
I can do that one more thing though.
What's that?
I want to say, keep in mind, as we're talking about how music and everything influences you, live music. As we talk about how music influences you, and you see this episode, I want you to pay attention to how live music affects you a lot more than the digital music that you hear.
Spirits in them instruments.
There's a reason. Like, those instruments are made of like raw earth materials, like materials of the earth.
It's not computed.
Right, it's not computed. These are like real materials of the earth that create specific sounds. Therefore, you feel it because it's of the earth. So it's next level when it comes to that. But definitely, that is just how you know that it affects you. Like when you hear what is the cymbal?
The cymbal.
Yeah, when you hear the cymbal, like that particular sound, if someone hit that by you, it's gonna make you perk up because of the high frequencies that are in that cymbal. Those high frequencies make you like they're up. Whereas when you get that thump, in the bass drum, in the kick drum, it's a lower frequency.
Or like the bass guitar too.
Yeah, and then the bass guitar, yes, those frequencies, they move you in different ways. The bass is what makes you want to move and get that rhythm, but that cymbal is
because that's more tapped in with your root chakra. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so it gets very, very deep. I just didn't want to.
That's why 808s influence you so much.
Yeah, I ain't even go there.
Yeah, we're gonna leave it at that.
808s and heartbreak.
We're gonna leave it at that for you guys. Leave your comments below if this episode's helped you. If you have a song that puts you in a certain mood, leave it in the comments below. And stay tuned for the next episode of Roc Radio. Stay locked in the next video.